So, 2018, I released The Whole of the Moon, the very first book on Duffy. The year after, I released The Blood Moon. And then there was, to finish the trilogy, I did A Very South Bank Story. So there was three Duffy books and two documentaries. So there was five projects in all. Um, so I'm now finished. Um, I mean, there's no price on planet Earth that would make me. Um, I'm kind of out writing true crime anyway. I've got one more which is being held for not released yet because of a certain investigation. But yeah, that will be out this year. Michael Shower's book, and the Ray Morton book, I suppose. But ultimately, I am finished from writing true crime. And the northeast stuff, certainly the Middlesbrough stuff. Um, I remember James English said to me a couple of years ago. He said, "You've completed it now." But what I've noticed, what I've observed, because I rarely watch stuff on here, and if I do, it's educational or social history or you know football documentaries, boxing, historians, uh, Jack the Ripper stuff. I certainly do not have the time to watch The Usual Suspects getting done up on a Saturday night, sit and you know, yeah, usual people, usual losers, and drama, chaos, and it's just not me. It's just even when I have kind of left comments, um, I've sat and it hasn't sat well with me, and I've kind of just went and deleted it. Anyway. But what I have noticed is, as I said, there's probably only about 9 or 10 channels I follow on here, but I've observed a lot of people talking about the Lee Duffy, making documentaries and so on. You know, people. Certain one guy on here who knew him for 8 weeks and made a career telling 30 years worth of stories. Um, yeah, it's a story that will. I mean, I get it. I as I put in the books, I never met him. I'd heard of him. Uh, heard of him primary school. So he died when I was 11, and I kind of was around boxing gyms from the age of 12. So I grew up. I was very familiar with some of the names and um, some of the, it's just, from 92, he was, you, you just do. It's that kind of environment, if you like, where, um, that kind of Neanderthal testosterone world, um, you know, as it went on, 93, 94, 95, 96. And so on. And a myth, a folklore, tales have all been, a legacy's been cemented, if you like. Of course, Steve Richards done the books, which were mainly about Viv Graham. Um, and yeah, obviously I come along, written 3 books, done 2 documentaries. And I said, I think I even said in the books or maybe the documentaries, I said, I don't see it ending. I said, somehow, I mean, I'm done. I did some work for. Oh, sorry, I'm knackered. I just finished nights, but I did some work for the BBC last year on the Viv Graham documentary. So I was asked for, obviously, Lee Duffy, I suppose. Obviously, I did a few things the behind the scenes, and in the end of the documentary, I think I get like a thank you or something. I kind of put people in touch, if you like, with the filmmakers. But I don't think they used any Lee Duffy stuff in the end. I think they just kind of touched on um, the Philly Tobin story and the Alan Thompson story. And afterwards, when we were kind of talking, and it was briefly brought up, um, they've done Paul Massey stuff. They did, I think that was about series 5 or 6, and there's been one after. So they've done a few series, and it was kind of brought up on, potentially making one of Lee Duffy, which, as I said, I'm done. I rarely even do videos like this. But I mean, I can't ignore it. I mean, I was in London last about 13 months ago, and I was walking through Piccadilly Circus, and there was a guy who come out, and he's from Greece, and he shouted at me, and I just thought he was, you know, and he just shouted at me, and he just wants to talk to me about Lee Duffy and Paul Sykes and some of the other books, and I've had a Facebook page which sorry, excuse me, I'll go to bed in a minute. So which I made in 2017, purely on the back of the 3 books and the 2 documentaries. And you should see some of the messages I've had in there. You know, the reason I'm doing this. So I got a message about 20 minutes ago. Uh, I'm I'm coming to Middlesbrough, so and so, so and so. I'm doing the Lee Duffy tour. I was like, and I said, where are you from? Peterborough. And I'm just obsessed with the story. Now, there's been a lot of them. I've had one from Kent. I've had one from Manchester. One's from Newcastle. And somehow, I don't think it will end there. I know a couple of months back, um, one of my main social media platforms is Twitter, these days better known as X. And there was someone talking about writing a book last year. Uh, would I get him? I said no, I'm done. Um, yeah, I think he'd written books before, and he said he was going to release one on Lee Duffy, and this month, in fact, this week, I'm going to be talking to Western Edge Pictures. Sorry, I'm trying not to yawn. Sorry. I'm probably like the lion at the start of a film. I'm knackered. I've done about 10-hour shift. Um, but yeah, so we're going to be talking to Western Edge Pictures for getting an update for the film, and then I'm going to put out on this channel because it's been 7 years now, albeit COVID ruined it for a couple of years. But the film is happening. There was plans of doing a documentary. I don't know don't know if the documentary's still coming, but the film's definitely coming. And I think, it wouldn't surprise me if somewhere along the line there's someone comes along and does something with Duffy. I think that will happen in my lifetime. But I'm done. As I said, I don't even normally do videos like this. But as the weeks and months and years have got on since I kind of finished them Duffy projects, it's just snowballing, and the interest is growing, and um, it's not diminishing anytime soon. I mean, I've got a book out this next couple of months, and so that's on Ray Morton, from the town that was murdered to Teesside Murders. There's actually a chapter in there on Duffy. Obviously, Ray was detective sergeant for Cleveland Police. He actually put the murder case together with Big Brian Leonard, who's sadly no longer here. And yeah, as I said, I kind of try not to look, try not to watch the majority of stuff on YouTube. Bickering and arguing with window lickers doesn't interest me. Um, you know, I've done 1 or 2 things on here which I never did, and which I shouldn't have done. And it's a very unforgiving world, and people will happily kick you when you're down, and yeah, you see the usual suspects arguing. I just thought that is just not me. But yeah, it's escalating, and even if you just type in his name, there's so many little clips and people's takes on it. What I will say is the person who held him when he died, the person who spent 10 months on remand for the conspiracy to murder him, and his very, very best friend, all three of them said to me, "You got those bang on." Now, that, I'm saying they were the best or whatever, but there was years of meticulous, thorough research that went into them, and so much that it's a fact, so I can just say it. But the Hall of the Moon it's been the best-selling book by a local author in the history of Middles and Waterstones. So that speaks volumes. It just was absolutely crackers. 30 was stolen in the first month. I remember being in the pig iron about 5 years ago, and someone come in, shoplifter, tried to sell me my own book. I think it was priced $12.95, and he, did I want to buy it for a father? It was crackers. That book literally walked out the shop. But yeah, I just don't think it's going to end anytime soon. And the interest in him is, the interest in him is just not dying anytime soon.